Welcome. Today we are going to create some names on these money boxes. So this is one of them. They come in all different letters. So I've done a variety of letters. This is an A and they're really cute. We're going to pop a name across the front here with our ScanNCut. I'm Sue from createwithsue.com. Join me for this tutorial. Okay, so we're at the machine and I've already turned it on and loaded my mat. You can see I've got an update available. That's what that looks like. So you can go ahead with that if you want to. However, I'm filming a video, so I don't want to do it right this minute. So retrieve your data. And I've sent it over via the cloud. So that's that picture there. If it's on your machine, it's this one. USB stick, it's this one. And if you've got your direct connect to your machine to your computer, it's that one there. We'll go through the cloud and it will retrieve our pattern or our letters, our wording. You can see the weeding box around each lot. And now it goes for I've done something a bit different this time. I'll show you that in a minute. But it goes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can count and you can also scan. So I'm not going to scan this time, but normally press that, it rolls it through and you can see where your placement of your material. But I've done something a bit trickier with my vinyl this time. And I'll show you as we travel along. We're going to go OK. We're going to select cut. And we need to put the half cut on because I am going to be cutting vinyl. And we'll scroll down and I need to put my glasses on. I've just realised I've done all this so far without any glasses. I better put them on in a minute or I won't be able to see something. Now I've got the pressure adjusted on this. You can see it's 4. I often usually start with it on auto, so I've just got to work out which way auto is. Oh, there we go, auto. So auto is there, and that's the best one to start on normally. I've got the weeding box off on this instance. This will add a weeding box if you haven't done it in Canvas Workspace, and you can adjust the size of your box. However, what I've found is I've got the wording quite close, and the weeding box on the machine seems to take up a little bit more room, or it's a bit more reluctant when there's lots of wording to do it on the machine. But I mean, certainly give it a go. If you get to your machine and you haven't put your weeding box on and you want one, have a go with it. And it might be just a matter of adjusting where your wording or your objects are. I've got mine placed exactly where I want them for this project, and I've placed them in Canvas Workspace that way. Okay, and we'll go OK. And now I'm going to do a test cut still. So I'm going to pop my test cut down here somewhere. We'll see where it puts it. Puts it on the mat, right in there, and I don't really want it in there. Oops, sorry, I moved my table. Let's see if I can edit that out in a minute. And we'll just drag it, I don't know, maybe there. That might be right there, right near the edge. And we'll go start. And now I definitely need my glasses because I can't see my little cut. It'll be here somewhere. There it is, right there. I can feel it. And that looks pretty good to me. So there's our little test cut. And I think that feels pretty good. You don't want that cut to go through the backing paper. If you can help it, there are tips and tricks to get around it. If you have an accident, it does go through the cut right through. But ideally, it needs to just cut the vinyl nicely and not the backing paper. So off we go. Now while this is going to cut, it's going to take about 6 minutes. I might just stop the video and I'll just hold it and show you the cutting. So I'll just pause the video and I'll be back. So there it is cutting. I have got long strips of tape on the side there. And I've actually got a full roll of vinyl. Take another video this way. That's just sitting on the end of the mat. So I've just got a 12 by 12 mat in. I've got it taped down far enough so it's not going to move, that part that's being cut. And it just is rolling along nicely for me. So you can get the roll feeder for the DX machines. This works on both the CM and the DX technique, and it's pretty easy to not have to set everything up. If you were doing a design that's longer than the mat, then you would need your roll feeder. So if you want to do a 28-inch design perhaps, you would need to put the roll feeder on. But this is okay. I've only got six squares worth of, so 6 inches worth of design, and I didn't really want to cut my vinyl until the last minute. So when this is done, I'll just cut the cutout components off and roll the rest of the roll back up, and I haven't wasted anything. And with the weeding box, you'll find it's really easy to weed and cuts nicely still. I'm not having any trouble at all with the cutting. I'll just come around the side again. It's quite a long roll. From memory it was, I don't know, 5 metre roll originally, so it was a long roll. Alright, I'll pause the video and go back to... Oh, actually I won't worry, because you probably will know how to finish this. I will show you the cutout in a moment when it's finished. I've got 3 minutes left. I'll speed this bit up. There we go. Find a little corner that you can lift, because this is a weeding box. And we will just see, because I'm going to cut this again. If it's not quite right, I will cut it again. Just work out what name I'm peeling. It's Matilda by the looks of this. Right. Oh no, it's Henry. It's very hard to read white. And it's also very hard to weed. It's also very hard to weed with the camera in the way. That's okay. We'll get there. And the design I've picked is actually fairly fine, which makes it a little bit harder again, but everything's all right. You just got to go steady. If it's cut through relatively well, it's a tiny catch there, it's not anything too major. And it always helps if you know what letter you're weeding or what wording you're weeding, because it's very hard to weed if you're not really following along with what you've cut out, especially if you can't see very well. Some tips for if you can't see is the white light boards, so a light board, or you can also try, some people use corn flour or baby powder to try and see where the cut lines are. Works better for blacks and darker colours, not so much for white. White powder and white vinyl does not go well. And there's the Henry. And I will leave that on there and pick it up. I've got to still weed the little piece out of the centre of the ear. Might do that before I forget. I've done that in the past too. There we go. That's the little centre. And you can see, I've got caught up on my fingers a little bit, but you can see the weeding box and how easy that was to weed with a weeding box, especially when there's lots of different letters on there. And I will cut this vinyl off at the line where there's no more wording. And I will pick this up with off of here without basically cutting into pieces. I'll probably just pick this up in sections, and I'll show you the next step shortly. I'll come back after I finish weeding. Catch you soon. Okay, so here's the lettering that we're going to, or the money boxes that we're going to put their names on. So we've got a C and a H, and I've got quite a few here. And there's the cut out letters that I've done so far. And you can see where the weeding boxes are and where I've cut it off, and cut it exactly to where I want it to on the vinyl. So I've not wasted any of my vinyl that I could help. I possibly could have got them a little bit closer again, but never mind. Now I've got some transfer tape. I've got some transfer tape. I'm going to use the same piece over and over and over. So I've cut it to size. I'm just going to line it up there, rub it down a bit, and give it a bit of a scrape so it sticks properly. And then I'm going to just lift it straight off of this sheet I'm working on. And if you flip it over, sometimes it comes up a little bit easier, and you kind of pull that paper backing back onto itself. You can see them coming away quite easily. And that's up and weeded. And there's my L for Lachlan. Oops, it's got its plastic covering on, so I'll just take that plastic covering off. I've left it to the last minute to take the covering off, just so that it didn't get dirty. Not hard to take the plastic covering off. And now this is my tricky bit, is getting it straight, because that's not my strong point, getting things straight. Fortunately, on this particular one, there's some lines to work with. So work out where you want to place it. Place one end down and then work your way across, or you can work from the centre, depending on what sort of placement you're doing. You can bend the two sides up and place the centre down and then work to the outside. But this one, for this particular one, it was just as easy to place one side down and work to the other end. So different projects, you can use a different technique. I'm just making sure it's sticking to the money box. And now I'm going to peel this back onto itself. You can see I hold it quite flat against itself, and there it is. One money box done. So I'm going to put it back on its backing paper. It's actually a bit of plastic on this particular transfer tape, but onto its backing, and I'll use it for the next one. There's one done. If you see any bubbles, give them a press them out. Press anything down that you need pressing down a bit harder. I'm going to work through the other money boxes just the same. So same piece of transfer tape, lift up the name, and I'm going to speed this right up in a second. So that's Sir Jacob. Press it down, and then we'll do Jack. So I'm going to slowly work my way through these names and get them done really quickly. So there's Jack going on now. And we've got the E. Remember to take the protective cover off each one. So there's Elliot. Sometimes it's really hard to see that protective cover, and sometimes it's a bit hard to get it off as well. So this one's Harrison. And Ella. These make great gifts for your family or friends, or even to sell. And this one will be Charlie. The kids love these ones. And a little bit harder to get that one off. This one will be Henry. And I'm still on the same piece of transfer tape. So you can get lots of use out of that transfer tape.
So here's all the finished lettering. I've still got Annabelle to go. That's all right. I'll do that when I get a chance. Join me next time for another video with createwithsue.com, and come and join me on my website and in my Facebook group. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you next time.